Good morning, everyone. This is Marlene with Dixie Quilters, and we're going to look at this, what we got in the box from Fat Quarter Shop this month, July 2025. So I'm sure you've seen more than one of the beautiful videos that people put out. Today I'm going to focus on these three things that came out of the box. Very nice thread, Aurifil, my color, which is, you know, a nice warm off-white, warm off-white. Could be anything, you know, there's so many different colors. How do you keep them straight? But that one's nice, I love it. The clips, you know how I love clips. I have oodles of them, but I like more. Thank you for the pink ones. And this is what I was gonna try to buy today, but here it came in the mail. Thank you, Fat Quarter. So these three are all big winners. Winner, winner, winner. These fabrics from Art Gallery, as you've seen them, are absolutely soft and silky, delicate, very fine weave, as all the Art Gallery ones are. Here's a delicate pink. Now this one I didn't know went with the group, but it's got this little line of teal in it. It's sort of a Baroque looking color. But that's what you get Art Gallery for, because they have different stuff. Again, with the teal and the pinks. When I saw the pattern on a lot of these other websites offerings for the box, the pattern named, let's see where it is here, right here. Serenade. Now see, doesn't that look like a medium blue that they're using as the primary accent color? So let's get back to that in a minute. I was thinking medium blue, so I went and pulled out all my blues. Isn't that a beautiful, delicate pink? Very pretty. Here's another delicate pink. They almost remind me of the reproduction fabrics I'm using for Civil War, but not quite, you know. That's gorgeous. And this one has a pale aqua background with those lovely pink flowers, and yet a grid as well. But it's not so much of a grid that you could fussy cut it and it have to be messed up if it was crooked. I think, well, you'd probably need to try to keep it straight on your pieces. Now this one is what threw me. This does not go with the picture. It's an aqua star. Interesting, huh? Well, there's your designer for you. Now, since I was thinking that that was all going to be medium blue, I brought in all of the different medium blues that I had in my stash. I've got 2 or 3 yards of this lovely grunge in a satiny. No, this is not the satiny one. This is some other company, but it's nice. It's a grunge. Then, of course, we've got about 5 yards of this stuff, which is, I guess it would go, but it's just a little bit too blue. Well, it's got enough of a teal look to it. Let's look at this one. What do you think of those two? That work is that accent color. What the pattern calls for is that they're going to outline most of those. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the big blocks are going to be outlined with this. And I could never figure out, there are 8 fat quarters in the bundle, but the quilt calls for 9 colors. So I had a heck of a time figuring that out, but I went back and read everything again, and apparently for the lap size is what I'm going to make. It calls for 4 fat quarters. So apparently 2 of the blocks are the same. Yeah, it just doesn't, I'll have to keep reading to figure out what happens to that 9th block. But anyway, keep going. So here, this one's a potential, right? A potential for that accent color. And I thought maybe this one would be. This is some Hobby Lobby aqua, teal. But again, it's stars. And in my brain, stars don't go with these beautiful flowers. But Art Gallery put in a green teal star. See, so I'm thinking those two are not going to be compatible. This is a hazy, romantic little star, and this is a defined star. So maybe not that one. Then I pulled out this one. This one's pretty close. I like this one. It's a muted blue. It's not in the aqua family, but I think it would go well with it. I got 5.5 yards of that. That'll work. And then I pulled out this one because this one was sort of pretty and little flowers, but it's just not the same speed, you know? And then this one, of course, that's a backpack in that beautiful blue bubbles. And again, that just isn't going to go. So I think, and this one's too bright. Too bright. So we're going to probably go with not this one, not that one, maybe this one, not the Hobby Lobby, maybe this one, not this one. Is that what you're thinking too? I'm putting this movie together pretty quick here because I have, I need to go to Hobby Lobby with the girls to pick out more stuff for the wedding. So we have to augment the flower arch. The arch that came was only half of what they thought it was going to be. So they researched the third daughter who actually did the purchasing ordering, and it was delivered to the wrong place, then it came back, and then it came back, then it was delivered to Oregon here, and it was only half of what they thought it was going to be. So now we're going to go back to the source, and hopefully the local Hobby Lobby has what we need. Otherwise, we're going to have to drive an hour to the next one. Now, do you ever get stuck in those kind of pickles? Come on. I hope not. Okay, so here's these gorgeous fabrics that I'm going to make something of. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be Serenade, as I like Serenade. And it looks like it'll work really well. Yes, I like that. And then here's my cloud. What's the brand on this? Confetti Cotton Cloud. I just love that. I bought that whole bolt. Don't remember where I bought it. It was probably one of my favorites. You know which ones I use. Lynn with Soft Squares, or Christy with Ribs Fab Stash, and occasionally, more than occasionally, Fat Quarter Shop. And then next on down the row are, the next 5 or 6 that I've talked about. But this is a nice fabric, this cloud. It's not too white and not too beige. Okay, and so that's going to be my video for today. Says, like I said, we got this wedding coming up, and I've got to keep my plan going of making the Fat Quarter Shop project every month. So I'm going to do it, and I think I've got everything I need, actually. But this is the next thing that has to be done. I need to shorten the sleeves on this jacket, and I have 72 hours to get it done, finished, ready, and delivered back to the person. So, don't you love it? And let's see. 1.5 would be ideal. Oh, what a bunch of baloney to have to change the sleeve. Well, I'll figure it out and let you know how it went. I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to be picked up here in about 12.5 more minutes. And then I'll be jumping in the car with the kids and the grandkids and going to Hobby Lobby for an adventure. Wish you were here. Have a good day. Bye-bye.